If I want it, I can have it. It is right there. Now, understand that there is always a buffer of time, because if I want it, I can have it. Let's take an example. I was thinking about this yesterday because Nicole and I are working on getting a program together for returning to your best possible body shape and weight. And so I was thinking about it, and what was going on in my head was that if I want it, I can have it. So if I want to lose weight, I can have it. I can have the body that I want. And it can be delivered to me the very next day. So I can go from this body weight to this body weight literally the next day, because anything is possible. However, the ways and means in which it would be delivered overnight is not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be comfortable mentally as well as physically. And that is why there is a buffer of time. Because think about it. When you lose weight, you are actually killing. No, you're not killing. They are committing suicide. The cells of your body are committing suicide because they are no longer needed. Because even fat is a cell. It's a fat cell. It's a muscle cell. It's a neural cell. So the cells of your body are literally committing suicide so that you can lose weight. If tons of them, literally millions of them, commit suicide all on the same day, that's not going to be a physically pleasant experience for you. And I remember many years ago, I met someone and she left a mark on me. I remember her. She's not a friend. I know her. But my first conversation with her left a mark on me. It left 2 marks on me, actually. Now, the first mark was she was a very negative person. The second mark was that she lost something like 30 pounds in 5 days. You know how it happened? It happened because of sickness. It was something that she wanted. She was overweight. She was over her desired weight. And then she got sick in order to lose the 30 pounds that she wanted to lose. So it happened literally overnight. But it was not a pleasant experience. And this is why there is a buffer of time. There is a buffer, this thing that we call a buffer of time that Abraham talks about all the time. Because even though you are on your way there to the thing that you want, it must take some time so that it happens in a relatively comfortable manner. So when people change overnight, they change overnight because something really bad happens. So there's this cost to pay in terms of it becoming really, really uncomfortable when things happen overnight. And I was talking about this, I believe yesterday or maybe the day before, that Anita Morjani had to die in order for her beliefs to change overnight. Eckhart Tolle had to OD in order for his beliefs to change overnight. Those were not comfortable experiences. And that is why there is usually this buffer of time, because the buffer of time makes it easier for you to get to where you're going. So to stand where you are and start saying, I'm not getting what I want, I'm not getting there, is incorrect, because there has to be a buffer of time. You are on your way there. But if you start looking for it right this minute and you say, I've asked for it, I want it right now, then there's going to be a cost to pay. And sometimes that cost to pay comes because we are not paying attention to our thoughts. Momentum gets so big, negative momentum gets so big that something happens and now all your choices are taken away. You literally burn all your boats. Happened to me a couple of times because I didn't understand law of attraction. So it happened to me a couple of times. Right? The abuse got so bad that I got strangled that I had to leave. The financial situation got so bad that I was almost bankrupt, so there was no choice, I had to do something about it. So you don't want that. You don't want all your choices taken away. Trust me, it does not feel good. Yes, it forces you to do what you already knew needed to be done. So when the abuse happened, it wasn't news to me that I had to leave. I should have left long ago. The bankruptcy wasn't news to me. I knew that there were problems. I could have done something about it long ago. The weight gain doesn't happen overnight. It happens over a period of time, and you let it happen. You could do something about it before it gets to that place. So you see, things accumulate because of negative momentum over time, and to expect that we can achieve the reverse overnight, yes, it is absolutely possible because I can have, be, or do anything that I want, but that journey, if you compress a journey that is going to take you 1 year, if you compress that journey into 1 day, how is that going to feel? We know because people have done this. I don't know about you, but I've done this, that you don't study all year and now you have an exam and you cram the work that you were supposed to do during the space of 1 year. You try to do that work in the space of 3 days, sometimes just 1 day, sometimes a week, depending on, when it hits you. Is that pleasant? No, it's not. It's horrifying. It's terrifying. It's worse than any roller coaster ride. It's bad. So the reason I'm bringing this up to you is, remember that if you have asked for something and it's not showing up right away, it's not right there right away for you to touch and feel and take home, as Abraham says, that's okay, because that doesn't mean it's not coming. It just means that you're taking the comfortable route towards it rather than taking the overnight route, which is really uncomfortable. So you've got to be okay with that buffer of time. It's okay. It is uncomfortable for your physical body to have to adjust its equilibrium within a couple of days or even a month to have those body cells commit suicide that need to commit suicide in order to give you your weight loss. It's a huge adjustment that the body has to make. It has to let go all of those cells and learn to function without them. Your balance, how you walk, has to rebalance. The sources of nutrients that your body needs to get have to change, because you don't have those sources anymore, because those reservoirs committed suicide on your request. Now alternate sources of obtaining that nutrition have to come in. That's not a pleasant experience. Trust me, you don't want that. You want it to take time. You want it to take time. People think that they want this overnight paradigm shift. Trust me, if those paradigm shifts happened, they would not be pleasant. A paradigm shift is not a pleasant experience. Yes, it can happen. Absolutely, you can have, be, or do anything that you want instantaneously. But you got to be ready. You've got to be ready for making the adjustment. And I can tell you, I'm saying that it's a cost to pay, but it depends on the person. When you really want it and you know what you have to do, it doesn't feel like you're paying a cost because you want it so bad. You just go and get it. And you don't care about what you have to give up in order to do so. But I just want you to trust that if you have asked, you're on your way there. It's going to come. The money is going to come. The relationship's going to come. The weight loss is going to come. Everything that you want is going to come. It's okay for there to be a buffer of time. Accept that, and then you will have this feeling of peace within. I'm always being led. I'm always on my way to the thing that I want. My dissatisfaction is going to prevent me from getting there. And asking the question, am I there yet? Why aren't I there yet? Those questions create dissatisfaction. You don't realize it because you're so used to being in that space of dissatisfaction that you don't realize it. But you are in that place of dissatisfaction. And that dissatisfaction stalls the results. It prevents the results from coming. And that's why I say that manifesting the things that you want is actually an indicator of how good a job you're doing with your thinking. How much resistance have you let go? Because if you have let go your resistance, then the results that you want will come quicker. And notice that I use the word quicker. I did not use the word overnight because there is no way for results to come overnight without a massive shaking up of the contents of the train. As Abraham says, if a train is going 100 miles an hour, you don't want to bring it to a stop suddenly because it upsets the contents of the train. You want to bring it to a stop slowly and then turn it around. So wanting to lose weight overnight is like bringing the train to a halt suddenly, and the contents of the train are upset. Your body is upset. You have disrupted all of its mechanisms. You don't want to disrupt all of its mechanisms. And this rule, this understanding applies to everything that we want.